Hi everyone, my name's Simon Hewitt and I'm the principal at Dundee and Angus College. I'm also the chair of the Discover Work Partnership and felt it would be really important today to come along and just give you an update on some of the progress that's happening within the partnership, both over the last 18 months, as well as really thinking forward about the future and where we're going as a partnership, because we're at a really exciting crossroads at the minute. There's many opportunities just now, but there's also many challenges that both the partnership and the wider partners are facing and that we really need to address, because we really do need to get this right for the people of Dundee and beyond. So I'm going to give you a brief overview this afternoon on who we are, just a bit of a reminder on that, where we are now, and where we're going over the next kind of 5 years or so. So firstly, just a wee bit of a reminder around who we are. And as the new chair, I think it was really important for me to really understand what we're trying to do, and what the partnership wants to achieve. And I think it's also important for everyone around this table to remember what the partnership was set up to do. And we know there's things, challenges that it's faced in the past. We also know that there's areas that we're really keen to kind of focus on. But in general, what the aims are really to make improvements, to increase the level of employment within the city, to reduce the level of benefit claimants, and really to improve productivity collectively and take steps to address in-work poverty. So that's the real core aims of what the partnership's trying to do. And we know, over the kind of last few years, metrics have been a challenge. We know that there's KPIs within the city that really need to improve, and we believe that accountability in general is an area that we need to improve on, but working alongside the strategy, these are the sort of key metrics that we're really focusing on and will really kind of put at the heart of what we're trying to achieve over the coming months and years. So really thinking hard about the youth participation measure, really working hard on that sort of long-term unemployment number, in particular kind of demographics, which I'll touch a little bit on later on. And then really thinking about that sort of economically inactive, but genuinely do wish to work, as well as the disability employment gap. So in a nutshell, this slide kind of gives us a bit of an overview about what we're all about, what the partnership is trying to achieve. Now, I think it's probably safe to say that the last 18 months for everyone has been very difficult, very challenging. Although what has been achieved is still a lot of progress, there has been some really strong work for the partnership over the last 18 months. And as everyone has really rallied round to support the city and the people of the city, I think it's been really important to acknowledge that there has been some strong work. And actually, despite the world being put on hold, the partnership has been looking to the future. It has been thinking hard about what type of partnership it wants to be, where's the strategy going, what's the vision. And a lot of you will know that we have commissioned or did commission the consultant rocket science around the strategy and the action plan. And what we got out of that was pretty comprehensive. There was a lot of information came out of that. So we're in the process of redefining that to genuinely kind of sharpening it up a lot. And we're very close to having a version which we are able to publish and is completely ready. And again, I'll touch a little bit on the themes on that in a wee second. I think another key development is the stepping back and looking at the project management office approach. It's been very clear that, whilst the partnership has been successful, I think what would take it to the next level is having that clear set accountability, project management manager, project office that can really own the strategy, that can really look at the action plan and properly give it the attention that it needs, because it needs that real focus. And we're really pleased with the partners and their agreement in that, but also with Dundee City Council for their support and their backing on that as well, because I think this will really genuinely push the whole partnership on. So we're quite excited about that. So we will see where that takes us, and we are in a really good place around what we think that could look like, the impact that it can have, and how it'll really help support the clients and the employers. As well as that, the created the Challenge Fund framework, and obviously we took a lot of feedback in from the third sector, as well as the Fairness Commission, and some of the things coming out around the third sector around clear governance arrangements, making sure it's a level playing field. The Fairness Commission, mentioned areas around use of language, how we communicate, the single point of contact, that whole joint working with referring organisations. And again, these are all things that we've been able to make immediate progress with. We've not had to wait for a strategy or a PMO to come. We've been able to make immediate progress with that, which is again quite exciting. Obviously, there's been the employability partnership that our pathway, that has been developed and delivered. There's the parental employment support. Again, that's been delivered by the third sector providers as well. And a really welcome addition of the youth participation group, which again has had really good progress working collectively to look at how we introduce the young persons guarantee. So a lot going on in a very short period of time. Obviously very reactionary at the minute, given what's happening with Scottish Government, but obviously also very much focused about the future and how we're building something to really establish something strong going forward. So where are we now? Where is everything today? What is the kind of the core priorities? Well, obviously, continuing around that sort of clear communication, really focusing on that single point, developing a new website, getting the comms plan up and running, actually raising the profile of the partnership, which is massively important as well. Clearly, the economic recovery plan and looking at the employability recommendations from that is a massive priority and something that we've been clearly focused on throughout this period. The implementation of the all-age Discover Work Employer recruitment incentive, again, the likes of the Hospitality Academy that has been put in place. These are all areas that has been the immediate response to where we are, including the likes of Kickstart and other things, which again has been massively beneficial. So a lot of work going on, a lot of things to focus on, all aligned to the strategy and what we're trying to do and where we're going. And within that, so what are the immediate next steps? Well, we know that whilst we are pressing on, there's been areas that we've been focusing on. We know we need to formally produce that final document, clear action plan, get the PMO in place, and also really think hard about how we're upping the profile of the partnership, how we're putting that governance framework and accountability framework around things, and really how we're just taking everything to the next level. So a lot to think about in a very short period of time, but again, a lot of exciting opportunities in there for the partnership, and an opportunity to be really clear and really focused on what we want to do. So in a nutshell and in summary, so what is it that we want to be? What is it that the strategy really wants to think about? Well, for me, it's four things. It's about being simple, focused, valued, and successful. Dead simple. Sometimes we're all very good on overcomplicating things and adding too much bureaucracy and other things around what we're trying to do. For me, it's about really simplifying, and the strategy's quite clear in that. There are some areas that we really need to focus on. So we need to simplify our engagement with clients and with employers, and indeed with our partners collectively. Really think hard about what is it that we're wanting to do. We need to simplify our services. Again, came through the recommendations in Fairness Commission and other things that it can feel quite clunky. So we do need to simplify that, and we need to simplify the info and the guidance that we're given. So really try and peel everything back and see what is the thing that will make the most impact. How can we make it as simple as possible? So the second area is obviously focused, being dead focused, really targeted. We know that there's areas in demographics that need to be addressed, that stick out like a sore thumb. So we need to be really targeted in that, and any of our interventions that are being put in place need to really make sure that they're addressing that demographic. And also thinking hard about the quality of what we're delivering. If we are being really focused, then we need to make sure that the quality is as good as possible, and clearly that it's LMI led, that we are focusing hard on where the jobs are. Take the Hospitality Academy as a good example, really focused and targeted in that sense. And then valued, the partnership needs to be valued by clients, by employers, but also by the partners themselves. So we need to really work hard on that and what that value means. And again, the strategy will focus on a number of areas that we want to achieve in that. And to do that needs to be resourced. And again, we're really pleased that that is the case now, because I think the fact that it is resourced now, that it will have a PMO around it, means that it is valued and it will deliver something really special for the city going forward, which will in turn hopefully improve the profile. And then lastly, we want it to be successful. We really want to work hard on what are those KPIs that the strategy wants to deliver, being very clear on what the success outcomes are, and all very much focused on the client and what the client needs, and what will make their journey and experience the best that it can be and the most successful that it can be. And lastly, to be successful, the partnership needs to be accountable, and that's something for me as the role of chair. When we have all of those other things in place that I've just described, we need to be a lot more accountable. We need to be accountable as a partnership, but we also need to be accountable as individual partners within that partnership. And again, with the introduction of a PMO, with a clear strategy, with clear KPIs, that is an area that I know we will be much more stronger on. So that's where we are. I know it's a pretty whistle-stop tour. You will see a lot of activity over the coming weeks as we launch the strategy and go out with the action plan. I know Yvonne is there today. Thanks, Yvonne, to take any questions that you may have. But I look forward to seeing you all at the next meeting. Thank you and take care.